Welcome to March Flowers in the Garden with Mary Kidson of My Garden Academy. By the end of this video, you will know what plants to grow to ensure that you have a colourful garden in March. I grow all of these plants in my garden and they are all in flower in March. We start with the Daffodils and Narcissise. These are in full bloom. I grow a number of different varieties, from the tiny dwarf varieties to the larger Daffodils and Narcissi. Next is the primrose. This is a native plant to the UK, Primula vulgaris. It is a beautiful pale yellow flower, which I much prefer to the cultivated ones. Now we have forget-me-not, Myosotis. These are just coming into flower, but are nowhere near at their best yet. In a few weeks, they will be a frothy mass of beautiful tiny blue flowers. Then we have the sweet violet, Viola odorata, with lovely sweet smelling flowers and a native plant to the UK. Mine have been kindly donated to me by a friend who gave me a plant in a pot together with the violets that had self-seeded themselves there. These are closely followed by the dog violet, Viola riviana, with their charming violet blue flowers. This is yet another native plant to the UK and it self-seeds itself everywhere. I encourage this plant to grow between the cracks in my patio paving, so I have a lovely flowering patio in the spring. And I also allow it to grow underneath my roses as ground cover. In the spring, the flowers attract predatory insects for any greenfly that might be thinking of taking up residence on my roses. Rosemary, Salvia rosmarinus, flowers at this time of year, and it can look very attractive with its blue flowers. These are loved by early flying bees and other insects. Just coming into flower is the elephant's ears, Virginia cordifolia, a great plant for a shady corner or one with dappled sunlight. Pulmonarias or lungworts are in full flower now. There are many varieties, and the one I love the best is Pulmonaria blue ensign with striking blue-violet flowers. I also grow a variety called Mrs. Moon. In the rock garden, the mossy saxifrages are blooming. I have a red and white variety. These are great rock garden plants, forming mounds of foliage covered with flowers in the spring. Now we have some of the most spectacular spring flowers, the pass flower, Pulsatilla vulgaris. This is yet another native, but is now a very rare plant in the UK. I have a beautiful red one, a gorgeous white, and a purple one. They are quite easy to grow and will self-seed as well. If you are enjoying this video, click the like button and let me know in the comments if you grow any of these plants in your garden. Keep watching for more March flowering plants. Also in the rock garden are the aubrecias, just coming into flower. These come in many different colours, from white, red and purple. They are perfect for growing over a dry stone wall and over rocks in the rock garden. A plant with similar flowers to the snowdrop is also in flower now. This is the Snowflake, Leucodeum aestivum. It is much larger than the snowdrop and will increase happily if left undisturbed. The Siberian bugloss is also flowering, Brunera Macrotheria. These prefer a more shady position. I grow mine in a border that is in full sun, but it is shaded by bigger plants in the summer, so is sheltered from the hot sun. The flowers are very similar to the forget-me-not, and there are several different cultivars. The one I grow is Mr. Morse, which has silvery, heart-shaped leaves and tiny white flowers. Cowslips, Primula veris. They grow everywhere in my garden. They are in the lawn, and they look just lovely when in full flower. I make sure that I mow round them. It is another plant native to the UK. The first flowers on the Alpine strawberries, Fregaria vesca, are appearing. The variety I grow has white fruits. This is another plant that self-seeds itself around the garden. Another bulb that is flowering now is the Grape Hyacinth, Muscari. These increase rapidly, soon taking over, but they look lovely. This is a great plant for providing bees with nectar. A shrub which flowers in March is the flowering currant, Ribes sanguineum. often grown as a hedging plant. It is a deciduous shrub, losing its leaves in winter, and the flowers appear before the leaves. The flowers are red, are highly scented, and are loved by bees, providing a very important food source for them. Another shrub in flower in March is the Japanese Schemia, Schemia japonica. This is a shrub well known for its very fragrant flowers and is well worth growing by your front door so that you can enjoy the delicious scent. An interesting plant for March is the spring pea, Lathyrus vernus. This is a small, clump-forming plant with purple flowers. The early flowering geraniums are just coming into flower. I have Geranium sanguineum pink puff. As this name implies, this forms a low-growing mound which will eventually be covered in pale pink flowers. The spring flowering Veronica umbrosa, Georgia blue, is also just coming into flower. This will eventually be covered in the intense blue flowers which contrast nicely with the bronze-tinted foliage. There are many other plants flowering in March, including cherry trees, blackthorn, magnolias, and the Japanese carrier, and wildflowers such as daisy and dandelion. March is a wonderful time of year in the garden. I would love to know if you have found this video useful and if you are going to plant any of these flowers in your garden. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos.